Good afternoon and hello and welcome to this live stream with myself, Ruth. I hope you can hear me. I've got my earphones in today. Just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me in the comments, just so I know that you're out there. And welcome. So this is a regular Thursday afternoon, 6 o'clock. If you're in Hong Kong, ask me anything related to Hong Kong schools. You can ask me anything about something else if you like, but I can't guarantee that I'll answer it. This is what I know. So when I say international schools, I think you know the drill by now. We mean English medium schools that follow an international curriculum in the main, and they are fee-paying schools. Almost certainly, they are fee-paying schools. So ask me anything. Thank you. Thanks for the thumbs up. Now, if you don't give StreamYard the ability to recognize your profile something, I don't see your name, so all I see is Facebook user. So do you have any questions for me? Thank you for watching live. I'm never quite sure if anybody will tune in live, so it's nice that you do. And thank you for watching on replay. If you're not able to watch live, that's perfectly understandable. We post these on YouTube and LinkedIn and Facebook, and they live forever in the interwebs somewhere. So ask me anything this week. Let me take down this one. So this week, the buzz has been talking about IB diploma, International Baccalaureate Diploma results. We've been busy publishing live results. Not all the schools have published their results yet. That's okay. And some schools will positively ask us not to publish the results, even if we, figure them out somehow. And then we always get a little bit of backlash. Now, our thing, Top Schools, we've been in existence for more than 11 years now, is finding the fit. So we are not about, in fact, one of the things that annoys me the most is a parent that says, and it happens all the time on a daily basis, can you help my child get into ABC school? And that's not what we do. Because we're all about finding the fit. But I know that there is this default, this something almost primal in a parent that wants to know which schools are the top performing schools. So we do collate the results and we do publish them for people that would like to know. Now, of course, not all schools in Hong Kong do IB. In fact, tiny minority of schools in Hong Kong do IB. But it's very prevalent amongst the international schools in Hong Kong. Other sorts of curricula are A levels or other minor curricula, and A levels also get tracked. So it's very, very common and default that the number of A's and A stars at A levels is what's tracked for UK independent school, for example, and then people go away and create their own league tables. And then the parents refer to those league tables when they're choosing a school for their children. So why do they do that? I mean, I guess there's some very deep psychological reason about why they might do that. It's kind of obvious. But, I'd really encourage parents not necessarily to pay an awful lot of attention to the scores of the schools. There's often stories behind why certain schools will achieve certain scores as well. I'm sure that you can imagine. Number of local schools in Hong Kong are now jumping on the IB bandwagon. And whilst they do offer the IB, they teach it, and the children sit for the exams. They don't really quite embrace the whole spirit of what it's all about. And at the end of the day, it's about skills. It's about a skill set that we hope that our children will acquire that will equip them to go forward and into the workplace, right? So a lot of schools in Hong Kong don't necessarily embrace the true spirit of what the IB is all about, the inquiring mind. And then there are other schools, some of the same schools and some additional schools that would definitely counsel children out. So children who might enroll when they're 3, 4, 5, by the time they're reaching 12, 13, 14, potentially they're showing that they're not the very, very high achievers that school would prefer. So if they encourage them to leave, they can replace that student with a high achiever, then they keep their scores high. There's one local school in Hong Kong that actually accelerates their children, and they do their entire schooling in 11 years instead of 12. No idea why they do that, to be quite honest. So we then, I gave this a lot of thought, got a lot of flack for why we publish the IB results. We publish them. We know that people are interested in them. We want you to know them. We want parents to know all of the information about a school. But it is really, really important to look beyond the scores. And this year, let's just say something about the cohort that sat their exams in May 2023. Now, the IBO, the IB organisation, published a statement which effectively discussed the fact that in the last couple of years, they'd had what they called, they teacher assessed grades. The schools had more autonomy to do some marking, and there was some leniency applied just because the students had been under so much, some adverse conditions. There'd been lockdown in many countries, COVID and all disruption. So that was the case for the last 2 years at least. And this year the marking has returned to what it should have. So these 2023 results will mimic the 2019 results much more closely. So that's why they look quite starkly different from last year's results. Effectively on paper, they look worse. But you have to remember that the last 2021 and 2022, the marking schemes, the marking boundaries were a little different. And then let's remember that our children in Hong Kong experienced the most negative disruption to their schooling, far more so than many other countries. I'm not saying, barring those war-torn and other countries, but they have really suffered. And it's all very well for the CEO of IB to say that, the children, they should be back to normal now. Our Hong Kong students have really, potentially, some of them have very much suffered. Don't forget, our schools closed in February 2019, wasn't it? After Chinese New Year, they didn't really return to normal after the protests. So our schools were closed for a much more extended period than many schools in many other countries. So effectively, what we at Top Schools would like to say to all the students, no matter what you scored, of course, your score does not define you. We know that. And, potentially if your score was a little bit short of what was expected, it might be a little bit of element of disappointment. You've done it. Okay, you've got through it and passed your exams, and a score of all of the Hong Kong schools are reporting averages in the mid to high 30s or low 40s. 45 is the top score for the IB diploma, whereas 24 is a pass. So for all of the students that passed, congratulations, and onwards. Let's see what you can do, and let us know. If your child had sat the IB diploma exams this year, I hope they feel accomplished. Resilience is of course one of the IB learner profiles, and for sure our Hong Kong students have been uber resilient. So we wrote some stuff about that this week, and our blogs are published and they'll be sent out to all of you tomorrow if you are on our newsletter list. So do you have any questions to ask me? Because I can only go on wittering away for so long. You can ask me anything to do with international schools in Hong Kong. I go live every Thursday at 6 o'clock, and might take a break. I am going on holiday. So I'll see if the time difference can work. But if I don't have any, got a thumbs up, I've got a couple of thank you, nice reactions. So if there are no questions going once, going twice, I'll leave you to enjoy the rest of your Thursday evening. I'm off to watch Mission Impossible this evening. And thank you for watching. And I'll see you at the same time this next Thursday at 6 p.m. You're welcome. Thank you. Okay, good night.